It's time now for Big Witty Style with former Conservative government minister, prisons minister no less, Anne Widdecombe. And a transgender paedophile has been spared a jail sentence after a delay caused by their gender. 66-year-old former prison worker Tanya Howes was caught with hundreds of indecent images of children, including almost 40 in the most serious category A, which guidelines suggest should carry a custodial sentence of between 6 months and 3 years. But after a lengthy delay in sentencing caused by confusion over whether Howes should be sent to a male or female prison, they'll now be sent to no prison at all, with the judge issuing a suspended sentence instead. These offences would normally attract immediate custody, Magistrate Ian Taylor told the sex offender on Tuesday. However, because of the time lag and because probation feel that they can rehabilitate you, it's going to be an unusual sentence because we're going to suspend it. And you are a former prisons minister yourself. With another example of transgender criminals benefiting from our woke system, does Rishi Sunak need to tighten the rules?
Well, certainly in this case, I think Suella Braverman needs to tighten the rules. Now, it's perfectly possible to have special units. We have them for disabled prisoners. There used to be a time when Kingston Prison, not now, but it was devoted to older prisoners. You can always create special units. And now that we're getting this problem increasingly, it seems to me that that's what you do. Now, as far as I'm concerned, a man who has still got male genitalia is still a man and shouldn't be anywhere near a women's prison. It's quite wrong from the women's point of view that he should be there. But if he is going to be given a hard time in a male prison because he is effectively half woman, because although he hasn't changed everything, that is how he's identifying, then okay, special unit is the answer to that. Now, what the answer is not is for somebody who's had category A images. And let's be very clear about this, Mark. It isn't just a question of looking at child porn. That porn has got to be created, and it's being created using a child. There are enormous numbers of children who are abused for the pleasure of perverts. And there should never be a case where a category A offence is met with a suspended sentence. Now, I understand, all the problems that the magistrates had. I mean, what were they supposed to do? But nevertheless, the answer is a special unit.
A huge miscarriage of justice for the victims involved, Anne.
Well, yes, as I say, those children actually are hurt. I know a lot of people think, well, if you're just looking at pictures, you aren't doing anything wrong. But you are, because those children had to give those pictures in the first place, had to do the things that are necessary to create those pictures and videos, indeed, and videos, horrible things being done. Therefore, as I say, category A should not go unpunished, which is effectively what has happened here.
Well, I know my viewers and listeners will be appalled by this story. You are a former Home Office minister. Prisons was your brief. I think you took pride in the fact that you visited every prison in the country. You were proactive and widely admired in your role. What's your overview about the culture of Britain's prisons in 2023?
Well, I don't think it's great. I think there's quite serious overcrowding, and every time there's overcrowding, what happens is that you get a drop in purposeful activity.
Anne, yes, we're just talking about that how prisons have changed since you ran them.
Indeed. Well, first of all, they're quite badly overcrowded. When prisons are overcrowded, what I was saying was that the first casualty is rehabilitation, because the staff are deployed onto security, onto managing the flows of prisoners and managing people who are going out to prison and to court and all the rest of it. So purposeful activity, which is to say education and training and workshops, they always decline whenever there is an overcrowding situation. Frankly, it's no good just opening up the gates, shoving prisoners in, and then after a couple of years, opening up the gates and calling them out. If you haven't done anything with them in between times, they just go straight back to where they came from and carry on as before. And our recidivism rate is huge.